This is the second part in a four-part series all about shame. So, earlier, I just want to review the three things I talked about, that shame and shame attendant, the enemy of our soul. What the greatest lies and deceit that he shows up with is you don't need God. You can do everything by yourself. You don't need other people. And because you don't need other people, you got to really protect yourself so that you don't feel this shame and the vulnerability that we all feel inevitably in relationships, because relationships are imperfect. So, our parents, even if they have done the best that they could do, you know, they sin, they wound us, they hurt us, and then we show up, even if we show up the best way we know how, trying to do different than our parents did. Even if we grow and change and learn beyond where our parents were, um, we live in a fallen world, and so we are going to hurt our children and wound them, and it's just a part of being in this fallen world. And so it is imperative, in my opinion, that we start with learning um, who God is. Is God good? Is God faithful? Is he really patient? Is he really forgiving? And as Christians, if you're watching this and you're a Christian, and if you're not, I encourage you to stay tuned in and find out, is this a possibility? And the way that we learn about God, who God is, of course, as Christians, we believe his word, tells us who he is. And if his character is good, and if his word is true, then his character is good. It is good. In Exodus, it's one of my favorite verses when God reveals himself to Moses, and he actually shares, um, he lets us know who he is. He passes by Moses and tells Moses that you have to hide your eyes, but I'm going to share with you who I am, what my character is like. And he says that, I'm looking at my notes here because I wrote it down. It's so beautiful. He says that he is forgiving, that he is forgiving from generation to generation, that he is patient, that he is loving, that he is patient. And he was so patient with the people that Moses um, led for 40 years and beyond. They continued daily. Where's the manna? Which is what we do. We forget our blessings. We forget the gifts that God gives us. But he continues to pursue us again and again and again. And so we have to know who God is, because that is our ultimate landing place. It is the ultimate attachment. It is the ultimate place where we can lean into and surrender and be safe. And when we can do that, then our relationships with other people who are imperfect, who will show up in ways that hurt us, we can learn to be more like Jesus and show up again and again and again with an open heart. Easier said than done, but this is necessary. So there's three places where shame wants to destroy us. In order to repair the first one, which is our relationship with God, we need to figure out who God is. And the only way I know how to do that is to read and study and also let that start to seep into my heart and my soul, um, by, you know, getting on my knees again and again. Search me, O God, know my heart, but I also want to know yours. Reveal yourself to me. Move out of the way the lies that have been whispered in my ear since the time I was born, right? Root out those lies so that I can start to pay attention and really live into the truth of who you are. The truth of who God is love and grace and patience